Everybody. Well, welcome again. Spending some time with us this morning. We'll go ahead and get started.
Welcome to Northern Virginia, where we'll be solving your STEAM and evening activity conundrum momentarily. First, a little bit of housekeeping before we begin. To ensure the best experience for you and for everyone else, we would ask that you take a moment to mute your microphone before we begin. Also, please send any questions you may have through the chat function or hold them to the end of the presentation. We're already eager to answer everyone's questions once we're done. Additionally, for optimal viewing, we recommend you change your view to speaker view in the top right corner of your screen. For a quick refresher, STEAM stands for science, technology, engineering, agriculture, or art, and math. And without further delay, let's begin our adventure in Prince William County. Prince William is 25 to 29 miles, both west and south of Washington, D.C., and is bisected by Interstate 66 and 95 and borders the Potomac River on the east. The major communities and cities include Manassas, Gainesville, and Haymarket on the I-66 corridor, and Occoquan, Woodbridge, Dumfries, and Triangle/Quantico on the I-95 corridor. And fun fact, Prince William is the first minority-majority county in the Commonwealth of Virginia, meaning our residents and tourism partners are a diverse group of welcoming folks. Now, this picture here, you may have passed this building on I-95 and thought to yourself, what is that? Is that some kind of mega church? Well, it is. For Marines, most people think of the National Museum of the Marine Corps as a daytime stop, but you may be surprised to find out that they will take groups after hours. Groups will get exclusive access to their phenomenal exhibit galleries featuring figures from cast moldings of actual Marines, see their award-winning film, We the Marines, and an exceptional dinner. In addition, they offer some of our more popular STEAM activities. Whether it's a portable or in-person educational program, both revolve around science, technology, or engineering concepts used by Marines in their daily lives. The portable programs can come to your Prince William County hotel as a morning activity to save on driver hours, as well as help with any traffic congestions you may run into. Say, for example, you have a late dinner cruise or a Monuments by Moonlight where you want to do and are concerned about driver hours. These education programs can delay the start of that driver clock to give you a little bit more time on tour. Lastly, the museum can check that A in STEAM for you, art. They have a one-of-a-kind art gallery with an in-resident combat artist whose job it is to document the lives of Marines on duty through photography, painting, sculpture, and other media. Groups of all ages can engage in an educational art experience. Next, inside Potomac Mills Mall is Round One Entertainment. It's a modern bowling alley, arcade, billiards, and karaoke destination. Opened in November of 2020, they will be a one-stop entertainment shop for groups needing a dinner and evening activity. With 6 group-friendly hotels within a mile of the venue, you can be back at your hotel before your driver is done for the day. Group packages will be available and bus parking is free. Our next stop is Woodbridge for a gorgeous venue on the banks of the Occoquan River. Located between Route 1 and Interstate 95, Harbour View offers an elevated experience for student groups by providing dinner dances during the week. Why would you host an away from the hotel dinner dance here, you ask? Safety, safety, safety. The kids can't go anywhere. The only thing within walking distance are condos and a restaurant a football field lengths away with a large parking lot in between. If you held it at the hotel, they may try to sneak around the hotel or go back up to their rooms. Plus, I'm going to go out on a limb and say the Instagram and TikTok views are much better here than in a hotel ballroom. As far as going somewhere, the kids can get dressed up and be driven somewhere, so it gives a sense of excitement like you're going to a party. The venue itself also makes you feel like you're going to a prom with the way it is tastefully decorated. In proximity, Harbour View is one interstate exit away from the Woodbridge Hotel, so you can be back to your hotel quickly. And did I mention it's not hotel food? Speaking of science portion of STEAM, Prince William County has its own division dedicated to science education for students through our park system. A favorite spot is the newly constructed 3/4 mile boardwalk, which extends over Neabsco Creek and is part of the Potomac Heritage National Scenic Trail. Groups can explore the wetlands that extend over the boardwalk, learning about the various types of amphibians, birds, and the plethora of plant life that contribute to a healthy ecosystem. The learning experiences are customized by grade level and preferred topics of interest. Our next stop is Uptown Alley, located inside Manassas Mall and just a few minutes from Interstate 66. And Uptown Alley is an enormous venue of fun. With 24 lanes of high-tech bowling, a large arcade, laser tag, and an arena for karaoke and/or live music, your group can really enjoy themselves. Their most popular student group package includes dinner, an hour of bowling, unlimited arcade play, and a game of laser tag for less than dinner at Hard Rock. If you want something more than that or a bit scaled back, they are happy to customize a package to suit your needs. Since it's in the mall, Uptown Alley has ample and free bus parking. Now, speaking of ample space, how about dinner and dancing overlooking a golf course? Bristow Manor is a 19th century Southern style manor home with multiple spaces to host your groups. They can accommodate groups as small as 20 or as large as 250. Oh, I forgot to mention that you would be the only group there. Since they are closed on the evenings only to special events, your group would be the only one teeing off that night. And with multiple packages to choose from for both adult and student groups, you have many ways to nail the hole-in-one for your group. Thank you for a few moments of your time, and now I would like to hand it over to my neighbor to the north, Hannah Oliver with Visit Loudoun.
Thanks again, Mike. Welcome to Loudoun County. If you missed out on the last fan, my name is Hannah Oliver, and I am the Tour and Travel Sales Manager with Visit Loudoun. As Mike mentioned, Loudoun is just north of Prince William County and west of Fairfax. Our eastern border is just 25 miles from Washington, D.C., and we are home to Dulles International Airport. Loudoun County is a great location for both student and adult programs and offers unique experiences for both STEAM programs and after-hour activities. First up is Summit Ropes, the largest indoor ropes course in the country and based on Zion National Park. Not only are they suited perfectly for the STEAM itineraries with programs like blind tent build, cave rescue, or tower build, but they are located within about 10 minutes from all our Dulles properties, making them super convenient for those evenings and mornings where bus hours might be an issue. Bring in a boxed dinner and let the kids burn some energy. With the ability to host multiple buses, Summit Ropes lends itself well to your next program. Moving into Ashburn, we have iFly, where groups can take part in education programs suited for their grade level, measuring their own velocity, experimenting with parachutes, work with inanimate objects to see how they react in the wind tunnel, and more. Their STEM programs include interactive activities and classes, ball demos, and a wind tunnel flight, of course, for each person. Start your day at Autobahn Indoor Speedway with instructor-led education classes, including topics such as history of racing and background knowledge, the science behind speed, acceleration, friction, or Newton's law of motion. Then move on to the track, where students will learn more about solar energy, the track, and racing, all followed by the fun of the race around the track, and lunch. In addition to the raceway, Autobahn Dulles also offers axe throwing for the adult groups. The zone, as I like to refer to it, is a miniature Dave & Buster's with a fully loaded arcade, bowling alley, and laser tag facility. This is a perfect evening option for groups that want to unwind. Not only that, but they also have a full service restaurant, so menus can be customized depending on the group's needs, whether they want pizza and chicken fingers or perhaps something a bit more elevated. Easily accessible to all hotel properties, so yet another great option for groups young and old. I know I've mentioned pizza already a few times throughout this presentation, but Wildwood Pizza is a little different. They offer the opportunity for groups to get dough deep and make their own pizza on site. With individual pizza trays set for each person, add all the sauce or all the cheese, however you like it, interactive and delicious. Stagecoach Dinner Theater is another great option for any age group. But the unique part about them is not only do they have the space located in Ashburn, Virginia, but they can also take their shows on the road. So if you run out of bus hours and are having dinner on site at your hotel, this could be a fun and interactive experience to include. And if your group is old enough to imbibe in wine, i.e. adult groups, have dinner and a show at a local winery. In addition to their shows, they can also offer team building, mystery adventures, and improv games. Let's hit the A for agriculture here. The Loudoun Heritage Farm Museum is a little known secret located in Sterling, Virginia. Travel through time to meet the 10 generations of Loudoun County residents that built this county and left their mark on the land. Group programs include Grandma's Kitchen, where students can trace the making of a biscuit from grain to mill to table, or tour the museum's exhibits and learn the fundamentals of archaeology, history, and museum practice, and even have your students learn cursive in their old school house. Another A at Great Country Farms, located out in Bluemont, Virginia, so a little bit more off the beaten path. Pick your own fruits and veggies based on what's in season. Learn about pollination and farming, the life cycle of a strawberry, or even go mining for gems. These are just a few samples of the programs offered if your group is visiting during If your group is visiting during the fall, make sure to include time for the corn maze or the wagon rides, and include lunch at the Roosterant for even more farm-to-table fun. With the quick overview of Loudoun County, I want to head back east towards Fairfax County and pass it over to Linda.
Thanks, Hannah. Now let's keep moving east, as she said, into Fairfax County. Here, I'll share a sampling of activities that will keep your student groups educated and entertained from sunup to sundown and beyond. Starting with the Workhouse Arts Center, a former prison turned arts haven. Groups can tour the galleries and studios to meet over 65 resident artists as they create and display their art. For an intriguing after-hours experience, I highly recommend the Murder Mystery Meal, as shown in the bottom left picture. During this immersive performance, professional actors, as well as audience members, bring together laughter and interactive fun by spoofing the murder mystery genre. You can choose from a variety of popular scenarios, and the Workhouse will provide customizable meal options, from plated dinners to simple boxed lunches, and anything in between. Alternatively, they can bring the murder mystery meal to your hotel if it's more convenient or your driver is short on hours. Now, when you need to take it beyond STEAM and take it to GSTEM, Fairfax's newest museum will deliver. The National Museum of the U.S. Army is the first and only national museum to comprehensively tell the 245-year U.S. Army history. The Army takes it a step further, as I mentioned, than traditional STEAM and has GSTEM programs, that's geography, in addition to science, technology, engineering, and math. Groups can work in the Learning Lab on Operation Safe Passage, as shown in the top left picture. This scenario is facilitated by a museum educator, and participants use their new GSTEM skills to respond to a humanitarian crisis. At the training center, you can simulate the work of Army soldiers from bridge building to aerial vehicle operations. The museum also has a virtual reality simulation gallery and multi-sensory theater, which envelopes you in sight, sound, and movement during a short film. Onwards and upwards to outer space via the Udvar-Hazy Center. It's the sister location of the Air and Space Museum on the National Mall. Did you know together that the two sites hold the world's largest collection of aviation and space artifacts? Located just 10 miles from Dulles Airport, the museum contains rare aerospace artifacts and highlights like the Space Shuttle Discovery. You're in for a treat with their docent-led group tours. Many of these docents are retired military or civilian pilots and aviation specialists who love to share their knowledge and first-hand insights. STEAM-wise, the museum offers students in grades K through 12 free 1-hour STEAM lab experiences. When the A in STEAM stands for agriculture, Frying Pan Farm Park has you covered. Step back in time at this historic property to experience rural America in the 1900s. Through their selection of field trips, students have plenty of opportunities to meet the farm animals, take workshops, and gain knowledge of how a farm thrived in the 1920s through 1950s. Fun fact, for over a decade, the Thanksgiving turkeys granted presidential pardons were sent to live here in peace. Your groups can also enjoy STEM programs at George Mason University, the largest university in Virginia by enrollment. Middle and high school students can learn about emerging STEM careers in areas like forensic science, bioinformatics, geoinformational science, and more. Choose from a half or multi-day program that includes a campus and lab tour, meeting faculty, and collaborating STEM challenges that are led by Mason student guides. Just because the sun has gone down doesn't mean and museums have closed, doesn't mean you have to head back to your hotel. Keep the fun going by planning evening adventures such as golfing at a glow-in-the-dark monster-themed mini golf course, backlit bowling in a retro-inspired hangout at Bowlero, or more than 140 arcade games at our 2 Dave & Buster locations. Thanks, and with that, I'll hand you over to Lindsay in Alexandria.
Thank you, Linda. Welcome to Alexandria, Virginia. Thanks so much for joining us today. My name is Lindsay Chase, and I am the Destination Sales Manager at Visit Alexandria. Whether your group is into science, technology, engineering, art, math, or all of the above, today we're going to explore everything that Alexandria has to offer. We're also going to look at what you can do at the end of the day. Alexandria is located on the Potomac River within eyesight of Washington, D.C. Alexandria delights travelers from around the world. This nationally designated historic district, founded in 1749, is a 5-minute drive from Reagan National Airport and just a short distance from Washington Dulles International Airport and Baltimore Washington International Airport. We are also right off of I-95. This makes Alexandria very easy to get to. First, we have the world-famous Torpedo Factory Art Center. Located on the Potomac River in Old Town Alexandria, the Torpedo Factory is nationally recognized as one of America's top art places. Built in 1918, this former naval plant once created torpedoes during World War II before converting to storage for other things like congressional documents, Smithsonian dinosaur bones, and Nazi trial records. In 1974, the complex transformed. It is now home to the nation's largest number of publicly accessible artists studios under one roof. Visit all 3 floors to find 82 studios, 7 galleries, and more than 160 artists working on their art. Managed by the City of Alexandria's Office of the Art, the Torpedo Factory Art Center continues to be a must-see cultural icon for Alexandria. Historically themed and wonderfully immersive, the Escape Room Alexandria has rooms with themes involving everything from mad scientists to wizards. Players use their wits and teamwork to uncover clues, solve a series of puzzles, and crack codes to ultimately solve the mystery and escape the room. This is a great experience for any time of the day, including after dinner. This escape room location is right on King Street, the main street in Old Town Alexandria, so it is very easy to get to. Once you finish a full day of fun in Alexandria, glimpse the city's spooky side on one of Old Town Alexandria's ghost tours. A colonial costume lantern welding docent will guide you through the twilight, sharing ghost stories, legends, and folklore. Students and adults of all ages really enjoy this tour. In Alexandria, we are known for its independent restaurants. Alexandria's culinary scene boasts a range of options from locally owned eateries to upscale and trendy restaurants. There is something for everyone and very group friendly. Many of our restaurants are housed in historic buildings and walkable, picturesque Old Town. After dinner, stroll along King Street where you will find hundreds of independent boutiques. Then choose from one of our one-of-a-kind hotels or popular chain brand properties for you and your group to relax at night and rest up for the next day. Last but not least, we have our famous boat tours. Whether it's day or night, we have multiple boat companies that provide tours and taxi services. Whether it's a tour of the monuments from the Potomac River or a private dinner for you and your group, this activity is fun for everyone and will make for a very memorable group experience. Thank you to everybody for exploring Alexandria with me today. Next up, we're going up the street to visit Portia in Arlington.
Thank you, Lindsay. Hello, everyone. My name is Portia Connerly, and I am the Director of Sales for Arlington, Virginia. 2 quick fun facts. Arlington, Virginia is the smallest county in the U.S. that manages its own affairs, and we are only 26 square miles. Here we have 39 hotel properties of all sizes and brands, and our hotel rates are usually about 20% less than the downtown DC hotels. As far as accessibility, we have 11 metro stations that run throughout Arlington. And as far as proximity to DC, you can hop on the metro and be there within 10 minutes. And we are also home to the DCA Ronald Reagan National Airport. So first up, let's take a look at public art. There is public art located throughout the Arlington neighborhoods, and it is perfect for adult and student groups. Arlington, Virginia is a community that recognizes the important role art can play in creating meaningful connections between people and places important to civic life. You will find a lot of the public art located in the Roslyn and Crystal City neighborhoods in Arlington, and Arlington is home to more than 60 permanent public art projects. You can explore the Roslyn neighborhood's extensive collection of public art with Walk Arlington, or use the Sidewalk app, which provides free self-guided walking experiences, and listen to a guided tour by an Arlington County public artist, or you can just download the map to visit the sites at your own pace. The tour also includes spectacular public spaces, and the distance of the tour is approximately 1.5 miles. Now let's take a look at the Arlington National Cemetery Education Program. Over the next 5 years, Arlington National Cemetery will develop and distribute a total of 27 educational modules on topics ranging from the United States military history to the contributions of American service members in arts, medicine, politics, science, and technology. The first few installments will cover African American history and the Spanish-American War, as well as the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. Also keep in mind that this year marks the 100th anniversary of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, so there will be events the entire year leading up to the ceremony, which will take place on November 11th. There are resources for teachers and students, which include primary source readings, worksheets, and lesson plans for elementary, middle, and high school students. These lesson plans align with national and state social studies standards and can be easily adapted for homeschool or virtual learning. The materials are designed for K through 12 students and teachers, lifelong learners, and families, groups and individuals visiting Arlington National Cemetery. While some of the materials, such as the walking tours, are designed to be used at the cemetery, the education program also allows you to explore the cemetery virtually. Next up, if you are already visiting the Arlington National Cemetery, you must make sure and visit the Military Women's Memorial, which honors and tells the stories of women past and present who serve our nation. There is a 33,000 square foot education center, which has a theater and exhibits that help tell these stories. The memorial also includes restrooms and a gift shop, perfect for a gathering place for any group. This is a photo of the pledge, which was unveiled last year. This is the very first monument in the nation's capital, which honors all women in the military, as well as their service dogs. So definitely check it out. And yes, it is free admission, and on-site motor coach parking is available. And once the day is over and you are looking for a few activities to do in the evening, check out Punch Bowl Social, which is located in the Ballston area of Arlington. This is the perfect hangout spot for any kind of group. They serve weekend brunch, lunch, dinner, and even late night snacks. They also have a variety of punch, craft beers, and craft non-alcoholic beverages, and patio seating is available. This 24,000 square foot fun factory is located in the renovated Ballston Quarter Entertainment Complex. You can enjoy mini and full-size bowling, karaoke, ping pong, wall scrabble, and of course, old school arcade games. And if you're interested, you're also able to rent out the entire space if you would like. And it can hold up to at least 200 people. And what's nice, it's open until 10 p.m. Next, in the Crystal City area of Arlington, we now have Bowlero, which is a bowling alley plus sports bar, arcade, and more, which is a great place to visit, especially if you like to compete with friends. With 32 lanes and an arcade, Bowlero is a great spot for families and all types of groups. They also have a sports bar and lounge area, and they stay open up until around midnight. Last but not least, if you are a fan of escape rooms, we have those as well. Our newest one is the Bonds Escape Room, which is located in the Clarendon neighborhood of Arlington. This location has 4 escape rooms for thrill seekers of all ages. Of course, there are rooms with filled puzzles and secrets and giving you just 1 hour to make your great escape. Whether you're looking for an easy or challenging, Bonds Escape Room has innovative, exciting, and immersive games for your group. So get ready for a good time. And they are open from noon to 10 p.m. And with all of that, we thank you for attending today's virtual tour. Please join us for the other virtual tours in this series to uncover even more exciting experiences available for your groups. You will soon receive registration emails from us to sign up for these sessions. Here is all of our contact information. So now we would love to open it up for any questions that you may have.
Good morning, everyone. Does anybody have any questions?
Hi, Hannah. I had a question. This is Kathy from Vienna in Virginia. Was wondering what the name of the Boardwalk Scenic Park was in Prince William County.
Is the Potomac National Heritage Trail boardwalk at Neabsco Creek, so the Neabsco Creek Boardwalk.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Wonderful. And there was one question I had that was asking about accommodation, but I did notice that we all kind of had a couple pieces. So Portia, you mentioned Punch Bowl Social could hold about 200 people. And you and Linda both have a Bowlero. Mike has a Uptown Alley, and I have a Zone. So I thought maybe we could go through and say what those can accommodate for large groups.
Sure. Who wants to kick it off?
I'll let you kick it off, Portia. You said Punch Bowl Social was 200. What about your Bowlero?
And it's probably a little bit more than that.
Okay.
Bowlero is about the same amount as well. And I'll be happy to give the contact information, which we just received, to whoever just asked that question.
Okay,
I'll be
great.
happy to send it.
I'll send that over your way.
Okay.
And Linda, you have a Bowlero as well, correct?
Yes, we do indeed. And I know that they're currently revising their capacities to be outside of COVID standards, and they can hold private groups of up to 80. But again, we can follow up with you on that and sample menus as well.
Perfect. And then Mike, what about your Uptown Alley?
Uptown Alley has done groups as large as 500.
Fantastic. And then I have the Zone, which is the miniature Dave and Buster's, and that's about 300. So those all are great options throughout the Northern Virginia region for those evening activities. Mike, I have another one here for Bristow Manor. Do they have student-friendly menus? And if so, how much do those cost?
They sure do. So they have student packages. There's actually, I think, 4 different options on their standard menu. They start at $20 per person, and they can customize something if you need.
Awesome.
Okay. Yes, I don't mean to interrupt you, Hannah. There is another question in the chat from Catherine. This is for Linda. How much is admission to the Army Museum, and how much time would you recommend?
So currently they don't charge admission at all for the Museum of the Army. You do, however, have to get timed ticket entry. So you would go online and reserve your space. And for groups specifically, they have a dedicated page where you'd put in your preferred dates, your group size, and also any special activities you're looking to enjoy while at the museum. I would recommend no more, or no less rather, than 90 minutes, just to have a well-paced visit to get to explore all the galleries. And then if you're looking at having a GSTEM guided experience with a facilitator, then you do absolutely want to do at least 2 hours or 2.5, depending on how long your group takes for the GSTEM activity.
All right, and there was one other question earlier from Catherine. Catherine, it was for me. How long would you allot for the public art walking tour? I would say anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. What's nice about it, you can do it at your own pace because these are self-guided walking tours, and I would be happy to send you the information afterwards as well. Thanks for asking, Catherine.
Are there any other questions from the audience? Looks like not. So
a comment here from Hildegard. Thank you for all the information. You're absolutely welcome. And to everyone who joined us, we will be sharing a recording of this as well as additional resources, so you can have the easiest time planning your group experiences in the STEAM world in Northern Virginia.
perfect.
This is Cheryl from American Christian Tours. I did have a question. I was having trouble unmuting myself. So I think this is for Mike. You had talked about a couple of the places where you can do a student dance.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that they set up, or are they providing space for a group to do that?
I've got a number of venues that can do that. So it varies per venue. Some of them will set up the catering for you. Some of them have their own in-house DJ. Some of them, just plug in. So it varies per venue. Harbour View just recently changed ownership. So I'm still trying to figure that one out from them. But if you have specific needs, we can certainly talk about that.
Okay, and then another need that we personally have as a company that has disappeared is living history actors that can come and do hotel presentations. We used to have George Washington Carver and Martha Washington, and they have retired and gone away. And curious if any of you have that kind of thing, educational type of living history actors that can come and present for groups, either at private space at a restaurant or their hotels.
We'll speak for Loudon. I don't have any living history actors, but we do have some traveling education programs that can be brought to the hotel. So it's a little bit of a half on that.
Yeah, and as far as Arlington, I don't think we do, but I will double check. It's a good question.
I'll speak for Prince William, obviously, but we do have our own historic preservation division, and oftentimes when they do guided tours of Manassas battlefield, they will be in period attire. So I would imagine that they either could come do that themselves, or if you need somebody like a big name like a Robert E. Lee or something, they have connections to be able to set something like that up.
And I, as well, for Fairfax County, can certainly double check. To the best of my knowledge, we don't have any living history actors who will come to your sites, but we do have at one of our newest venues, the Turning Point Suffragist Memorial, a character actor there who will, in suffragist clothing, do a guided tour of the memorial and as well provide that historical information and context. And you can actually have an experience on site there at the venue.
I missed which venue that was.
The Turning Point Suffragist Memorial, and that's brand new, just opened this spring, and that's in Lawton, which is in the southern part of Fairfax County. It's the only memorial that tells at a national level the holistic story of the suffragist movement in the US.
Wonderful. I am not seeing any further questions. So unless we have any last minute ones, in respect for everybody's time, we'll let you all go eat lunch and enjoy the rest of your day.